Oh yeah, we're back to recording on the phone in my mom's closet. Hello everyone. I promise I will upload a cover soon. I still have a huge project plan, but my motivation has been whacked due to real life circumstances. Do any of you remember the first time you had a crush on a fictional character? The thoughts that went through your head when that weird feeling started bubbling up in your chest? I mean, sure, when we're really little, we can say we have a crush on a character, but when we get older and look back, we go, why did I have a crush on Ferb? No, I'm talking the real deal. The character walks on screen for the first time, and before even knowing their personality, you instantly fall in love, and then somehow that character's personality makes you fall 10 times as hard, and then your mind and sketchbooks are just completely devoted to this character. My first real fictional crush was Ryo Bakura from Yu-Gi-Oh! I still have the majority of cringy drawings I made of him, but my point to this video is my irrational fear of letting things go. This fear has been with me since I was very little. Now, when I was little, not wanting to let go of something like a stuffed elephant wasn't such a big deal, but as I got older, this fear began to affect different aspects of my life in a sort of negative way. I'm the sort of person to get extremely attached to things and deem them my favorite, and in the case of the stuffed elephant, he was my favorite plushie when I was little. But when I eventually favored a different toy, I was scared to the point of crying because I didn't want to let go of the elephant, when in reality, he'd still be there. He's still here to this day on the head of my bed because he holds fond childhood memories. At the time I began to fall in love with Bakura, we were moving from the house we were living in to where we are now. I was 12 at the time and had finally gotten adjusted to where we were, and had made a few really cool friends, only to be told that we were moving hours away from it all. This is where I began using Yu-Gi-Oh! And mainly Bakura as a huge coping mechanism. I didn't want to leave. I never asked to leave. None of this felt fair to me, and I began to legitimately hate the house we lived in. I wanted things to go back to the way they were. I was homeschooled, and we didn't go to church very often at the time, so there wasn't much of a way for me to make friends. In a strange way, the cast of Yu-Gi-Oh! Were my only friends for a while. However, being so attached to something fictional is way different from being attached to someone real. With someone real, you can talk your problems out and help each other grow, but with something fictional, you can either use them as a positive coping mechanism, or a negative one that will make you feel worse, which is what I did with Bakura. He was so like me at the time, torn away from his friends because of an evil spirit ruining his life. I wanted to protect him. I wanted to be there with him. He understood me, so I would vent through him. And when eventually I had to let him go because his very image was beginning to hurt me and make me feel worse, it caused so much more mental anguish than it should have. The fear wasn't just negative in the sense of fictional characters. It affected how I acted when I needed to let go of toxic relationships. For the sake of this video, we'll call her Sam, and if you're watching this, Sam, I'm not mad at you whatsoever. We have reconnected recently, and she's pretty cool now. But at the time I'm talking about, Sam was very angry and very hurt, and I won't get into the details, but she had it a lot worse than I did. When we met, we quickly became friends, and then eventually we were so close we were like sisters. I attached myself to her so much that I devoted a lot of time to her, and I was proud to be a doting big sister. But we got into a fight. She was so angry because of her circumstances, and I was terrified because I didn't want to lose her. It was toxic anger and toxic fear. We inevitably parted ways. Even now, I'm having a hard time letting things go. When I learned Pico's voice bank was discontinued, I thought I'd never be able to use him. Thankfully, I've made a friend who owns him, and I've been able to use him through that friend, but when I finally make the money to purchase Rana's voice bank, it'll end. I'll be getting proper renders through Botanic. And it's gonna be hard, and I'm not gonna like it, but it's something I have to do if I really want to be a Vocaloid producer, which means my focus may lessen on Pico a lot. I will focus more on Rana, and my next purchase after her will be the Zola Boys, because tuning on You also sounds beautiful on Pico. They have basically the same range in my opinion. Which leads me to another weird decision my mind has been dwelling on. It's no secret I have a crush on You. I mean, at least to those who have spoken to me on Discord about it. But yeah, it's no secret, that boy is pretty. Anyway, the point is, I may or may not swap husbandos when I get the Zola Boys. This isn't me giving up on Pico. No, he still has my heart, and I want to give him justice. But because I won't want to be bogging down my friend with VSQXs to render, the amount of pico-lay you'll see will have to lessen as well, and that is no fun for me. I wanted Pico to be forever, and when I said he would be, I believed it, but now I don't know anymore. Circumstances just didn't work out, so I may switch to you and start giving in to Flauco. Pico is and always will be best boy. I can say with certainty that if I do choose to switch, I will never look back at Pico-lay and cringe. It will always be a very fond memory, and I will probably hang the special picture my mom made me in my room instead of by my desk. And Pico-U duets will still give me a lot of dokies. I can't help it. I like girly boys.